Does having male privilege bother you, and how do you deal with being seen differently by society? Okay, so addressing the first part of the question.
Oh, this is interesting. This person is a trans man, so used to be a girl, now lives as a boy. We might finally be able to get an understanding of exactly what male privilege is.
Does having male privilege bother me? Yeah. It does. And the thing about it is, when my identity started to shift, I was very aware of my male privilege. And now, I'm not. And that bothers me. I've been seen by male, by society and others, for over 5 years now. It's hard to think of a time when I wasn't like this, and I wasn't living in this body, that I wasn't having these experiences, like interacting with society. So it's hard to think back and remember when I didn't have male privilege. So that is something that I feel guilty about, but most of that is like my bad memory. Like, my memory is awful. That's not really surprising for those of you who know me.
Yeah, but like, what is male privilege? What do we get that chicks don't get?
But yeah, so I went to a women's college, so male privilege in men and women's spaces was something that I was super, super aware of. It was something that we talked about all the time. I don't know, I was never really aware of male privilege before I went to Smith. I wasn't really aware of feminism. Like, I just knew that it existed. I didn't know if I was one or not, because I didn't really know much about it.
Yeah, fuck feminism. What is male privilege? Are you gonna tell us or not?
But when I came to Smith, it was like very clear that like there's a big feminist population there, and I definitely aligned with that, and I fit in with it, and I embraced it with open arms, and I was all down with patriarchy, fuck male privilege, and I still am, but that was when I really started embracing that, and then like shifting into that like culpable group of people was really hard for me, and I felt really guilty about that.
Group of culpable people? What are we culpable of? What the fuck are you talking about?
And when I first started to transition, I was like, oh shit, I'm part of this now. I have this privilege now. I didn't ask for it. I don't want it, but I have it. I had to sort of come to terms with that.
You have what privilege now? You didn't ask for what? What don't you want? What do you have?
And I remember one of the first things my mom said to me when I told her that I wanted to transition was, why would you ever want to be a man? You hate them so much. And I thought that was so interesting because it got me thinking. At first I was like, oh my god, she's right. I do hate men for like 1 second. And then I was like, wait a second, no, I hate the patriarchy. And I hate societal norms that are forced down men's throats.
You hate societal norms that are forced down men's throats. So you cut your hair short and started dressing and presenting yourself as a typical normal bloke. If you hate societal norms, why didn't you just stay the way you were and just consider yourself a man?
The whole boys will be boys mentality and how people who live in that culture grow up to be, you know?
No, I don't know. Boys will literally be boys. There's nothing we can do to change that. So you hate the way that boys grow up to be? What are you talking about?
That's what I hated. I didn't hate men. I hated male privilege and what it did to men and how it corrupted men. So I was very, very conscious when my identity started evolving to not be one of those men. So when I started being read as male in society, I immediately took my privilege and started using it for good.
How? In what way did you do that? What specific actions did you take to use your male privilege for good?
Like trying in every situation that I could when I was sort of a fly on the wall, so to speak. Not that I'm not a man, but I was on the other side, and then I got this inside look.
What?
And when people started speaking to me, particularly other men started speaking to me in this way, in this club sort of way, I was really weirded out by that, and I was really taken aback.
Women gotta stick together and tell each other the truth. The truth is you're all fat sluts, and that's called sisterhood.
Yeah, I was looking for a clip to drive home the point that chicks have a club as well.
In this club sort of way.
But then I found that and it was pretty fucking funny, so I just went with it.
And I didn't want it. I didn't want any part of that. But then I started exploiting them to themselves, you know, started challenging the way that they thought, the way that they spoke about themselves and about women and about their place in society and how much space they were taking up. So
hang on, what do you mean how much space they were taking up? Do you mean that literally? Because blokes are bigger than chicks, we can't help that. And if it was metaphorically, why is there a limit to this metaphoric space in your head? You're really confusing, you know that?
That's been something that I've been challenging myself to do for the past 5 years or so. And I think that that's my responsibility. You know, it's my responsibility as a feminist, as a trans man, as just someone who's aware and is living in this world with a lot of privilege, to use it for good.
How? For fuck's sake.
Am I bothered by it? Yeah. Do I want it? No. But do I have it? Yes. So what am I going to do about it? Sit here and, whine? No. I mean, I could, but I'm going to use it for good. It's interesting because I could say one thing, and then a woman could say the same thing, but men will react differently in a lot of situations. They take me more seriously for whatever reason because I'm a man.
How many situations is a lot of situations? Are we talking all men, most men, or only some men? And don't plenty of women pay other women more respect than men?
And that's fucking bullshit. But I also want to say, though, that there are, like, situations where I'm just like, I can see that it's all bullshit and that it's all made up, but other people can't, and that really kills me. Before I was on T, so before I started passing, nobody would ask me to lift things or to help them move things or whatever, do this, like, stereotypical man activities. And then as soon as I started passing, they were like, okay, you're gonna do it because, you know, you're a man, or can you get this for me, or can you reach this for me, or can you lift this for me?
You're fucking kidding me, aren't you?
I was like, on the inside, I was like, what the fuck? I'm literally the exact same person. 6 months ago, you would have seen me as a woman, and you wouldn't have asked me. But now, I'm still the same person. I just look a little bit different, and now you're asking me. Like, it's all made up. It's all bullshit. It's not real. It's all a social construct, and that is what's so frustrating, because I've been on both sides, and I can see both sides. And I'm like, this is all fucking made up. This isn't even real. Like, hello? Like, it's just... It's very frustrating.
Just because something is a social construct doesn't mean it's not real. And are you fucking serious? You spent this whole video preaching about how horrible male privilege is, and the only hard example of a male privilege you can give us is people ask you to lift boxes. I bet there's a heap of labourers and removalists out there that'd fucking love to give up their male privilege. This video's a joke. Anyway, ta-ta. Oh yeah, since I spoke about it last time, a heap of people have joined me at minds.com, which is pretty cool because fuck Twitter in its cunty face. If you haven't yet, come and say hi at minds.com/bearing. Also, if you've got a video or article or something you think I should be looking at, let me know at reddit.com/r/bearing. I'm more likely to see it there because it won't get buried by a heap of emails trying to sell me penis enlargement pills, or some cunt trying to offer me half of the King of Nigeria's estate if I pay a transfer tax of $500 into his bank account.